Your Excellency, sir.
You're saying anyone dozing or itching to leave, I know it's because of the passion that every one of you have to ensure that we have peace. As others have said, without peace there can be no meaningful development in any society. And I accept that. But let me say to those who felt that we have breached protocol between me and the governor of Taraba State, we have not. And it's good to give you a little background. As we have heard a series of meetings, including the conflict between Tiv and Jukun. Before then, we have had a series of meetings to try to resolve our boundary issues and to tackle the issue of criminality and banditry that has been going on between our two states, especially at the border areas. And all those meetings have been very, very successful. And so these two, we took proactive steps and we've been following it. And myself and my brother, the governor, we've been discussing. And we directed our deputies to mediate those meetings. It was true that those peace committees were born, both for Taraba and for Benue State. I think that they too are doing a good job. They have worked very hard. Because of the conflict, they've not been able to visit the two states. They've been holding meetings outside the two states. But I want to believe that after today, they will have the courage to hold meeting in the two states. And this meeting we are holding today was initiated before I traveled to Japan, and it was there I also heard that Mr. President, because he was concerned about what was happening and had to encourage myself, the governor of Taraba State, and our royal fathers to do more. And you can see that today is represented by no other personality than the SGF. As he said, he came here earlier. When we were told, we were worried. But my colleague had to come from Bayelsa just this morning to Abuja for this meeting. And that was what caused the delay in the meeting. But you can see the commitment of Mr. President to ensuring that there is peace by he allowing the SGF to be with us right from the beginning of this meeting to the end. We appreciate this commitment and we thank Mr. President. And we did not breach any protocol by he coming to speak before two of us. But because he too had intended that the SGF should coordinate a meeting, we felt that we can use one stone to kill two birds. And for the fact that he made some remarks here, after myself and that of my brother, the governor of Taraba State, he is still at liberty to close the meeting with some remarks. Let me start by saying again that there is nothing like peace. Peace is paramount. And every one of us, we need peace. And so, it does not matter whether you're in an advantaged position and you see the other person at a disadvantaged position and you think you can do away with him. It does not always happen in that way. And I give you an example by sharing my life testimony at a point. I found myself between 1976 to 79 in Ida Commercial College. We wrote common entrance just like any other's pupil in primary school. But government policy then was to bring in missionary schools and community schools and give admission through common entrance. And that was done. So I ended up in Ida Secondary Commercial College. They were 2 years old and we joined. And then we saw those of us who were coming from Benue State, especially from Tiv extraction. And there was no dormitory in the school. And for those of us who were coming from outside, life was difficult. So we complained and we were given accommodation. So we were in the same place. And I had some of these mates who were together. One of them in particular that was closer to me had this small stature, but he was older than me. But if you compare two of us, you think that I was older than him. And I felt that at least this one, I can beat him anytime I want. So one day, it was even something that started, not between me and him. He had issues with one of our colleagues. And then I took over the matter. Decided that at least I know I can beat him. So we started the fight. I pushed him. He went back. He came back, I gave him a slap. And he said, look, I don't want to fight you. Because I knew that then I was a better disposed student to take care of my needs and even extend it to others. So he was one of the beneficiaries. So he didn't want to fight me. I thought it was a mistake. So I went for a second time. This one was even faster. When I stood up, I did not go there again. So that is how life is. And for people who are lived together, there is no point whatsoever degenerating into where we are today, Tiv and Jukun. I want to appeal. I want to appeal. It is a very big shame to me and my brother Darius. We were ministers of state together. That was when we came close to each other. We never knew ourselves at a close range, but we heard about ourselves. Eventually, we were screened and we ended up being ministers of state. So we had the same kind of challenge. Eventually, we decided to answer the call of our people and went to contest for governorship. It was through the eye of a needle that two of us won to be governor. So we have the same history. And when we came in, irrespective of the political parties that brought us to power, we met and resolved that we must resolve the problem of Taraba and Benue, especially boundary issues. So if you look at the communiques that we issued, we said it was very clear that by the time we conclude and demarcate our boundaries, it does not matter. Because the last meeting we decided that our two deputies should lead our boundary committees to do some preliminary demarcation. Even where there are disagreements, they should still present them to us. By the end, we will jointly meet and decide that whatever decision we take, endorsed by myself and my brother, the governor of Taraba, will have to be accepted. And wherever a Jukun man fails, or Tiv man, whether in Taraba or in Benue, wherever your location is, you remain there. If you're a Jukun man and the demarcation makes you to be in a part of Benue, you become the responsibility of Samuel Ortom. And if that happens in Taraba State, you become a Tiv man in Taraba State, you become the responsibility of the governor of Taraba. This was what we resolved. And the two states, with all the stakeholders, with our traditional fathers, endorsed this resolution. And so we're on the part of it. Some work have been done. And I think where we are now is for the Federal Boundary Commission to come in and support us to execute this before this crisis came. We have heard the genesis of this crisis, how it started, but we must also appreciate that there were issues before now, and that sparked up this fire, which is unnecessary. And as you can even hear from the presentation made here by previous speakers, it is very clear that there are issues more than what we have heard. And for me, I join others who said the truth of the matter is that this is not a crisis between Benue and Taraba State. The conflict we had was on boundary, which we all sat and agreed on the way forward, and we're working on that. But this particular crisis is from Taraba, Tiv, and Jukun. I have tried not to interfere in this matter. Anything I hear about this crisis, I try to relate it to my brother, the governor. There was a particular day that I read on social media or viewed a video clip about a particular Jukun leader who did that broadcast and declared war. Those things he said was not for good neighborliness. I drew the attention of my brother, the governor, to call him to order that we have not gotten to this, to declare war. It will compound the problems. And when crisis starts, you don't know where it will end. And the truth of the matter is that, yes, We can talk about history. We can talk about we first came here or we were the last and all that. But the truth is that whether tradition or whatever we do cannot supersede the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And what does the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria talk about issues that we're discussing here? Who is a foreigner in this country? We're not foreigners. I am aware that our borders are porous. People have come from Benin, people have come from Chad, from Niger, from Libya, and all that, and found themselves in Nigeria today. They are living here, whether in Benue or Taraba. And they are claiming ownership of everything. So for God's sake, how can you say, since God created the earth, you were there? And that would be a logical fallacy if you say that. Because I know that from one point or the other, we came from somewhere. All of us. Because from the creation of the earth, from the creation of mankind, it was Adam and Eve, one man, one woman. Then they started multiplication before we got to where we are. So, but we are Nigerians. The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria remains sacrosanct, and all Nigerians must respect that Constitution. That is what some of us fight. When people come to try to bend rules and make things that one I say no. I fight for justice, equity, and fairness. And I've always challenged anyone who thinks that I'm doing it wrong or I'm preaching what I'm not doing to confront me. That, if you want, you can kill me for fighting for justice, equity, and fairness. I'm ready to stand with that. So this issue of saying that other people are settlers and they cannot be in that place, I think this is where we are getting it wrong. I don't want to talk about Taraba because my brother, the governor, is there. And it will be wrong for me, as governor of Benue State, to be talking about another state. Yes, the Toti can say that because he's a Toti, but I am governor of Benue State. I rule over the people of Benue State, not Taraba or any other state. And I think that I have problems as governor in Benue State. The problems are enough for me. I don't know how to finish them. Even now, today, as I'm sitting here, they told me my people who are supposed to be my fathers and mothers, pensioners, are protesting today, and they have taken over government house. That's another big problem. How will I, if you are the one, how will you handle a thing like this? These are people who are supposed to be your mothers and fathers. How will you even get angry with them? And I don't have the money to pay them. So that one alone is enough. So I cannot be talking about other states. But for me in Benue State, we have had issues, even with the Jukun community in Benue. I've always called for restraint. Yes, man will never be satisfied. There is nothing you will do. Even me, I want to be more than what I am today. In terms of economy, in terms of every other thing. But you see, we must learn to restrain ourselves and be contented with what God has given to us. Because a man can receive nothing except it's given to him from above. John 3:27. So, the challenge is that people will always agitate. As I talk to you, there are serious issues if we had not taken decisive steps, the thing would have degenerated to where Taraba is today. And maybe there will also be a spillover to Taraba State. Because if the Jukuns in Benue State are attacked, the next place they will go is Taraba. That is the same thing you have when Tiv people are attacked in Taraba, you see them coming to Benue State. That is the challenge. As I talk to you, the surrounding villages of Tiv extraction within Abinsi have all been burnt. There has been several crises. It extended to Fidi Council Ward in Makudi, where a traditional ruler's house was burnt and destroyed. People were killed. We had to suppress it. We had to arrange security to do surveillance for several months so that we do not have these people. We had to call meetings. Several times we had dialogue, it did not work. As I talk to you today, because of the danger I perceived, I have constituted a commission of inquiry headed by a serving judge to look at those issues. What are the issues? What are the remote and the immediate causes of this crisis? How do we get out of it? How do we get these two communities staying together? And I have told the Jukuns and the Tiv people in Benue State that, look, if any of you is thinking that you will fight a war that you will win by killing, by destroying, by doing what kind of thing you are doing, there is no way you will succeed. You will end up becoming poorer. Because like others have said, they are also in an agreement. What unites the Tiv people that I know and the Jukun, whether in Benue or Taraba, one common thing is poverty. All of us. So the little you have, you're still destroying it. And you will go back again. You put burden on both government to bring relief materials, to provide relief housing and all that. Monies that would have been used for something to add value to development, you have destroyed by your action. So it doesn't pay. So if anybody in Benue State, whether Jukun or Tiv, is thinking that you will fight that war to win, you're lying. And if anybody in Taraba thinks that you can displace the Tiv people to come and be in Benue State, or displace the Jukun people to go to where? It is an impossible thing. Our people will say that you are pumping a punctured tire. That one will become tomogogo. That is watch walk. You walk 24 hours, you continue, no stop. And no payment on it. You just be going round and round. So the earlier we know this, we should appreciate that the constitution of this country allows people to stay where they want to stay. And they have freedom. And in the past, we have seen it. Even as I talk to you, I know that a Jukun man is governor in another state. Jukun have 2 governors in Nigeria. Yes. I know that Jukun, other ethnic groups too, are having more than one governor in other states. By virtue of they settling in a particular place for a long time, they have become indigenous and rose to that position. We, in those days, before we came on board, Kashim Imam won election in Benue State, in Tiv land, in the house of House of Reps go or Senate? House of Reps. Several people. So the earlier we realize this, whatever tradition we have, or whatever position we have taken in our states, we must know that they are subject to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And so we should allow peace to reign. If people are doing the wrong things, they should be apprehended and sanctioned. Not this punishment that they are given to innocent people who have not committed any crime, but they are going about. Some are dead, they will never come back. We have made people orphans and widows and widowers for no reason. How do you go and apprehend an innocent person and slaughter who have not committed any crime against you? And blood is flowing. Do you think God will be happy? For those of us who are Christians, have we forgotten when Cain killed Abel? We are told that the blood of Abel, nobody was there with Cain when he was killing his brother, and he never thought that he would be exposed. But the blood of Abel cried and went to God. And he was exposed. And he was cursed. So we should be talking, like somebody said, honestly, at this time, we should be talking about Taraba, Benue, because we have several things in common. There are a lot of Jukuns in Makudi, in Guma local government. I've been in Guma. There are then there in Tulen, in Bajimba, my ancestral council ward. You have a number of them. Then you have them in Adi. What that is why I say Makodi. Several places. Wherever they went fishing, they settled there. They have raised their families there. Some are in the Benue Civil Service. And we have never discriminated when it comes to even appointments and elections. If you're qualified, you get it. Atini recently retired the civil service. That is someone from Jukun extraction. So even in Benue, we'll be having issues. We have issues with Adi. A chief was elected based on the law of Benue State. And the traditionalists, they are saying no, they will not accept this chief. That they will have to go to His Majesty Akuka, that it has to be that one that they will accept. And I said no. When it comes to the institution of traditional council, there is a law and we must comply. To eat, nothing will stop that. But when it comes to tradition, the Jukuns are free to pay their loyalty and greetings and whatever to their kuka. That is not a problem. Just like the Tiv in Taraba come to him. There is no crime. And we had meeting. It was the Jukuns themselves in Adi that stood up and fought and destroyed more than 3/4 of that city. They killed some people. We called them to a peace meeting, set up committees, and we ended up to tell them that the district head that was selected must be allowed to remain. But if you want a traditional chief that is anointed by the Akuka, that is your tradition and custom. Still go to him and do it. Let him appoint that one. So be doing your tradition. But when it comes to government, the district head that is recognized by the law of Benue State will be respected. So, the only thing that has stopped us from implementing this is because they had litigation issues, and we told them to go and sort those things out so that we can allow them they can select the traditional leader or chief and get his anointing from their kuka, which is okay, but the district head will preside as government representative. So for me, I want to say that the other issue has been, as many others say, the issue of criminality, banditry, kidnappings and all that. It's all lying as criminal activities. It is a concern. Myself and my brother, the governor, we have discussed this several times. Even in those days, where we had issues, when we thought that it was only Ghana that was the criminal, then the Wandume was not known. So we thought that it was only Ghana. And at a point when security men could not help me to apprehend Ghana, what we did was to grant Ghana amnesty. With everything he did, we say, okay, this one you are beyond government and security men, so let us just grant you amnesty. I had to discuss with my brother because he too was affected by activities of Ghana. But you see, nobody should talk about banditry, kidnappings, and all these criminal activities that are going on and point hand to one side alone. It is both sides. And I think there are many others. And me and my brother as governor, we cannot do it. As you see us, we're in prison. Where to go is restricted by security men. So we'll no longer go out and relate to people the way, even when we want to do it, we cannot. Because the time will not permit because of exigencies of office and so on. So it is you, if you want to help us, as others have said there, when you open us to us, we can work with the security men and then apprehend these people. The security men too, they've been doing their best. For Benue, they have done so well. The issue of herdsmen, they have tried so well. They have cooperated and we have seen the results. But this issue of kidnappings and all that is a big problem. Economic activities are gradually crumbling because whatever you make, kidnappers take it away from you. And nobody is safe. And so these people are living within the societies. Anybody who, or like Wandume in Ibi, and Ghana in Bishop, building houses and schools, buying motorcycles and vehicles for others, you should know that it's a criminal. Such people, there should be a way of our communities relating to also that we know. And so for me, it is joint effort, like somebody said. I know, working with the security men and with the modern technology in tracking where people are. Anytime we push on Ghana and his team from Bishop, he goes to Takum. He's having some lieutenants and allies there. That is where he takes shield and is protected there. And he launches against us even in Benue State from.
Everybody is an immigrant. And so it doesn't matter. President Bush is president of America. His son is the governor in Texas. Another one is governor in Florida. I asked my colleague here, can you be a president here in Nigeria and your son will be a governor in Borno and another one a governor in Lagos? Will it be possible? It's a natural thing, the reality. We cannot take something to be clouded. It's the wrongness in this our constitution that is putting us in this security mess. You copy the constitution from America, you remove the vital part of it. You remove the security aspect. No community policing, no local government police, no state police, no federal police. You said every police must be in Abuja. I will instruct my CP. He will want to get clearance from his IG. Everybody will have been dead by the time the clearance comes. That is the truth of it. That is what we are seeing. He has the problem, I have the problem, all my other colleagues have the problem. 4 days ago, a colleague of ours sent me it is the lowest ebb we have gone to. Whether you like it, whether you don't like it, is the truth of the position. But the funny thing in this country is that people don't want to sit down and crack their brain and get out the solution to a problem. Why don't you want the state police? Why don't you want to try it? Why don't we try it? If it fails us, then we know that state police has failed us. We have overwhelmed the security agencies. I want to thank all of them sitting here, both the military, the police, civil defense, and everywhere. The DSS and all of them. I tax them in my state day and night. I don't allow them to sleep. But I got to a point that I have to even myself sympathize with them, because they were overwhelmed with the job. My dear brothers and sisters in this world, I am very, very desirous for peace and for solution. But that has to come on the platter of frankness and sincerity of purpose. That we're here is entirely a problem of Taraba State. And if the thieves in Taraba State had come, I have invited them for a meeting, we reach a conclusion. I never saw them when I came back. I asked for the people that we agreed that we are going to set up a 10-man committee, Jukun and Tiv association, where I thought, and they agreed with me, that problems are rising, problems already there, and other problems can together be solved and then refined and brought to my attention. You are talking about employment. I became a governor. There are 10 wards in my local government. When I was to give commissioner, I gave it to the Tiv woman. And I was insulted blue in my local government. Unimaginable. How can I do that? But I don't know how many of you knew that here. You are sitting here. I employ 3,000 teachers. 400 plus are all Tiv teachers. Except if you want me to carry the whole state and give it to only one ethnic tribe. Please, please, I'm ready for us to settle. The problem is Taraba problem. And as I said, it's because of the closeness I have with the governor of Benue, because I see him as my brother, he sees me as also his brother, that anything that happens, I always will tell him. This thing started from Pente. A small problem, I spoke with him, and it expanded beyond our imagination. Both him and myself, we didn't, even if he's out of this country, I will call him. This meeting was already pre-planned with him. As he earlier said, before we heard of the federal government, by that time he had taken off for Japan. So I called him. I said, you have to cut short your this. The federal government wants to also have a meeting. We better collapse the two and do it. And that is what is happening today, so that we can get a solution to this problem. The whole problem is Taraba problem. And I can handle it. I'm equal to handle it if I have the wherewithal. Tell me I don't control the police. I can't control an army. Tell me how can I go and face a bandit that has automatic AK-47? I understand there is even AK-49 now, and I understand there is even RPG. How the hell will I apply? I never trained to be a soldier. I'm a professional architect. Give me, I'll do it, but diverted into politician. Let's get to terms with reality. Let's be frank with ourselves. Let's see. We're all educated people. Tiv, you are a professor of professors. Let's be frank with ourselves. If your citizens come to complain to you, let them tell you the truth. The day they said they killed 3 people, I phoned immediately. Ojege is here. Ojeko called me. I got in touch with the vice chancellor. I said, what the hell are you doing? How can you allow 3 of your students to get out and they have been killed in Ukari? I phoned everywhere in Ukari. They said they did not know about this. So I called. If it's a lie, ask the VC. I cannot be a governor and stand here and tell you what I didn't discuss with the vice chancellor. I said, then let us find a solution. You have to quickly close the university, because the students, he told me, some Tiv students at 5 or so in the morning, 4 or 5, said that they were going to the city to burn down Okari. I said, look, that is craziness. They want to hold that. Please close the university. I don't want to have death on our hands. We together agreed that university was closed. If you say that is a wrong decision, well, too bad, but I've taken it and I've saved lives. Last Sunday in the church, 8:30 a.m., militias of Tiv extraction came there to Takum. The church was full like this room, over 400 people, and they started shooting guns to massacre the whole people. But God performed his wonders. These people were saved in the church. They ran away. When I called the military, the reaction time from the barrack to the church was more than 4 hours. Do you think if these people had their way, these people in the church will be alive? That is the reality I'm talking about. We have problem. Let's acknowledge we have problem. And what I'm saying here is not only me. What I'm saying here affects Ortom. What I'm saying here affects the whole 36 governors in Nigeria. I want any governor who will come and stand and tell me that what I'm saying is not correct. We are facing problems. Defective constitution. We can't stand on that constitution, my dear governor. We can't. There is defect in that constitution. There is a need to amend some sections to make the country work more efficiently. Why should I have any grouse with anybody? Even a stranger who comes and stays in my state, let alone somebody that we are brothers and sisters or we have grown up together. Please, I'm very willing. But Mr. Governor, Taraba is my business, and therefore I have to be consulted if there is any decision. I wouldn't want them setting the panel that will come to Taraba yet. I am very capable of solving the problem. And I think me and you, we are very capable of solving this problem. Because we have been doing it. I know you, you have a good heart, you are a good man, you love your people. And I equally love my people. I know we can find a solution. I thank everybody that came to this hall. I thank each and every one of you. But then, the meaning is that the day the woman will give birth, she doesn't hide anything again. My brothers, there is hope for us both in Taraba and Benue. There is hope for us in Middle Belt. But we must also understand our different cultures and history and come to terms to accommodate. In where we come, chieftaincy is hereditary. You don't give chieftaincy just like that. Yes, you may have a demand. Yes, you come, let us see how we can do it and see a way we can harmonize it with our own. Find a way that it will fit in. But when you say you must insist. I have my children. There's one particular child. When he comes and begs you for one sweet, you give him, he will go and come and beg for another. And when you give him 3 times, then he will come and say, Daddy, I want bread. So I will go and slice the loaf. He said, no, it's not a loaf. I will give him half. He will come and say, no. And then he will go and take the whole full loaf of bread. So you find out that continuously he's the only one that comes. And then one day I woke up and said, look, why must it only be you that is complaining in this house? Please, let us not put ourselves in the eyes of Nigeria that we are perpetually complainant and troublesome people. We are not. We are not. This problem is not insurmountable. This problem can be solved. But if we can all come together and agree, we'll sit together and understand ourselves, know my differences, know that I'm different from you, know that you have a difference. You people wore black and white with black and white caps. Akuka is coming with a different regalia. That is how he loves it. That is how his costume and tradition. So let us agree, okay, this one is black and white, this one is blue and shiny. Let's come and then these things can be solved. Ojege, I know Ojege for several years. I refer to him as my senior brother because he and my senior brother were working together in Lagos. That's where I know him. And if there's anything, I can fight for him because I know him as a senior brother. And that is how it is with most thieves and Jukun. My brothers, we can surmount the problems that we think is a problem. But let us accommodate one another, our cultures, our historical antecedents, and work towards it. I'm not saying that we will abandon it because we have imported a new constitution from America which is not working. I don't accept that. Our man in Taraba, my brother in Benue will do so for a Jukun man. The thieves are sitting here. I feel so betrayed by the conspiracy of silence. Sometimes my wife will talk to me and say, please shut up. Because tears will fall on my eyes. I came to that state 2014. There was, you can travel from Okari up to Benue. There were no TV on the road. If I'm telling lies, let the person who answer me there again stand up and say, yes, I'm telling lies. I suspended 10 chiefs. I make sure I enforce their coming back. Their farms, one man had about 40,000 seedlings of a farm of citrus was there about. I enforced that. I brought it back. Those who are still in the force, who were with me that time, this thing was done. But there is conspiracy of silence. And let me advise those thieves that are in Taraba. Look, when you have problem, I will solve your problem. Yes, you can complain to the Totiv. Yes, you can complain to the governor. But first of all, make my place a point of call. And let us sit down. And then we'll resolve the problem. If I could do what I did in 2015 without going to Ortom, without going to Totiv, what makes you think that the same thinking has gone wild? We did that, we achieved result. But you kept quiet. When you go to Benue, you go to Totiv, you will tell him the side that will suit the Totiv letting hear, or the Benue, the governor to hear. Nobody has said, oh, thank you, sir. You did this and it was good. Look, biblically, God acknowledges thanks. If not, he won't tell us to go and give thanksgiving in the church. Let's learn to say thank you if somebody has done good. And when he does bad, you say, sir, you have done bad. It will prick his conscience. Thank you.